It was one of those evenings when the sky felt like it was crying. The rain was heavy, falling endlessly, and the people on the street were too busy protecting themselves to notice anything around them. But right there, next to the bakery's window, a little girl sat alone. Her clothes were soaked, her small hands cold, and her face tired. She wasn't shouting, nor was she begging loudly. She simply asked in a soft voice, "Do you have any expired cake? I haven't eaten since yesterday." There was no anger or complaint in her tone, just hunger, and a quiet hope that someone might listen. But footsteps and car horns drowned her voice. People kept walking, not even looking. And then, one man stopped. Just one moment of attention changed everything. Ethan Cole was a name everyone knew. He owned tall buildings, successful companies, luxury cars, everything people dreamed of. People admired him wherever he went. But when he returned to his shining penthouse at night, silence filled the air. His life was full of achievements, yet inside, he felt empty. Meetings, awards, deals, nothing touched his heart anymore. He was surrounded by people, yet completely alone. Sometimes life gives you everything, except the one thing that matters: warmth. That emptiness inside him is what made him stop that day, what made him look at the little girl sitting in the rain. In that moment he understood, sometimes you can have everything, and still have nothing at all. The girl's name was Leah. Her voice was soft, like she was afraid it might break. She explained that her life was completely different just a few months ago. She lived with her mother, who used to bake cakes in a small bakery. They didn't have much, but their home was filled with love. Then everything changed. Her mother fell sick and passed away. Leah was taken to a foster home where there were rules and chores, but no kindness. She said, "My mom always told me that even expired things still have a little sweetness left, if you know how to find it." That is why she returned to this bakery, searching for even a small trace of her mother's love. There was no anger in her words, just memories and a quiet loneliness. At first, Ethan reached for his wallet, the way he always solved problems. But then he stopped. This moment wasn't about money. It was about understanding. So he sat down beside her, under the bakery's awning, while the rain continued to fall. He bought the old cake, the one no one wanted. And they shared it together. Leah held each bite carefully, as if it carried a memory. Ethan just watched her, noticing her small smile, the first one he had seen. It was a gentle smile, but it was enough to soften something inside him. In that quiet moment, Ethan realized that life isn't only about winning, earning, or owning everything. Sometimes, sharing a simple piece of cake with someone who needs it is more meaningful than anything else. The next day didn't feel like his usual routine. Board meetings, investments, business decisions, they all seemed insignificant now. All he could think about was Leah, her small voice, her fragile smile. So he went back to find her, and this time he decided he wouldn't just walk past her life. He arranged clothes, shelter, school, and medical care for her. But more importantly, he stayed by her side. They had breakfast together every morning, talked, laughed a little, and slowly, something warm returned to his home. The silence that once filled his penthouse began to fade. Sometimes, life doesn't change because of something big. Sometimes, it changes because your heart chooses to care. Years passed, and Leah grew. The fear and loneliness she once carried faded away. Ethan hadn't just given her a home, he gave her a new life. And one day, something beautiful happened. The bakery where her mother once worked opened again, but this time with a different name, Leah's Grace. Above the door, a small sign carried her mother's words: "There is always sweetness left, even in what seems expired." Every evening, children who couldn't afford food came there, and they received cake for free. And every time a child took their first happy bite, Ethan remembered that rainy night. The night when a small act of kindness changed both of their lives forever.